What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another Euro 2020 fantasy video. It's team selection time ahead of Matchday 5, aka the quarterfinals. I'm in a little bit of trouble, right? I've got a few issues in my team that need fixing, either injuries, likely players not to start, or players that are just completely eliminated. So I'm going to talk about all of that, my captaincy, my transfers, and all that good stuff. So give it a like if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and let's talk about how last week went. So because this is knockout tournament fantasy football rather than a league style, we're in a weird situation where some teams have been knocked out, which means next week's looking poor, but some of those players really helped out this week, right? Or for the last 16, because I still got 63 points, which is pretty decent. My overall rank moved up from like 4k to 2.6k, so it's not too bad. But Benzema, for example, is now knocked out, so I can't use him next week, but he got me 20 points as captain, so I was really happy with that. I didn't really want to twist to John Stones, even though he did get 6 points in the end, so it wouldn't have been that bad. I did go with Damsgaard in the end instead of Forsberg, which actually now looks like a good move, even though Forsberg should have had more returns. He hit the woodwork twice as well as getting his goal. Damsgaard is at least through to next week, so that's decent. He got 6 points, although he did come off just before 60. If that was in FPL, he wouldn't have got the extra points there. Mailer, brilliant, legend, 12 points, very happy with that, and he goes through to the next round where Denmark have definitely got a good chance of going through, I would say. Unfortunately, the Netherlands lads did nothing at all, and all my Italians pretty much did nothing apart from Spinazzola, who got 5 points, which was pretty decent. So overall, there was a few players that really chipped in. Benzema, Mailer in particular, then obviously Stones, Spinazzola, Damsgaard helped out a little bit, but the rest all blanked. So it was a good week in terms of points, wasn't a good week in terms of eliminations. Let's take a quick look at Ultimate Fan, and then I'll talk about my team for next week. So if you haven't already signed up for Ultimate Fan, make sure you do. If you're from the UK, 18 or over, or from Ireland, link in the description below. And the great thing is, every single round of the tournament, there's a brand new game, right? So for the quarters, the semis, and the final, there's a new contest, and there's £20,000 up for grabs. Go and click that link, honestly, and get signed up. And the great thing is, you haven't missed out if you haven't been playing for the rest of the tournament, because everybody that plays, whether you've already started or you're just about to sign up now, gets a new base pack with 7 players in, and those 7 players, completely free of charge. Like I said, it's completely free to play. They'll all be from teams that are still in the tournament, and if you want to get an extra subscription to get a few extra packs, you can do that as well, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So go and click that link in the description below, and I'll show you what I got in my packs. So I'm going to click on it now, open it up, see what I get, see which players I can use. So Batshuayi, probably not going to play unless Lukaku is out. Matvienko, Zubkov, and Babu, who played really well when he came on against France. Di Lorenzo may play instead of Florenzi, which is good. Czech Republic, I've still got the Belgium team, and Shaqiri as well. So not too bad. Some players there that I can probably add. And the great thing is, you also get a goal pack if you sign up for the gold subscription like I am, right? So if you haven't already signed up for that, you can. It's £4.99 per month. So one for June, obviously one for July as well. And you get a few extra players. So I'm going to show you that now, the gold pack that I got as well. Spinazzola, love that guy. He's definitely being played even though it's Belgium. Mason Mount is coming home, 2-0 against Germany. And Højbjerg as well for Denmark. So not quite so good, but Mason Mount I like. I think he's getting back into the team. Now he's fit. Let's put the squad together. Okay, so this is the team that I've got right now. And obviously some of the players are missing because they got knocked out, which is fair enough because I've got some new players. So I'm going to click on transfer now. And we're going to put some new players in. So I'm definitely putting Mason Mount in, right? I know it's a bit of bias, but I think he'll get back into the team. So he's in. I'm probably going to go for Belgium as my team. And I'm going to put in 2 Italian players. So when I can find, if I click on defenders here, Spinazzola, I mean, he definitely comes in ahead of Switzerland. And I hope they get a clean sheet against Belgium, even though I put Belgium as my team. I might actually change that. And I'm going to put Di Lorenzo, and I'll keep an eye out for news just in case he doesn't play. I need another midfielder, so it might actually be Shaqiri. I can't back Zinchenko against England. It's just not in my nature to do that. So Shaqiri's going to play, even though he's got a fairly tough game. And then up front, players still in it. Goranovic could come on for Switzerland. Traore probably not going to play, and Batshuayi is my other option. I've got to go for Gavranovic because he always gets minutes, right? So even if he doesn't start, he'll come on. So that is probably my team. We'll confirm that for the next stage. And like I said, there's 20 grand up for grabs as my iPad and Wi-Fi goes really slow to confirm that. So if you haven't already tried it out, make sure that you do. Link in the description below. Click that, get signed up for the quarterfinals, get your free pack, sign up for the gold subscription if you want a bit of an extra edge as well. Pick your team, simple as that, right? Get going now, click that link. Right, so it's fair to say I've got a few problems this week, but as always, we're going to find solutions to them. So we've got 3 free transfers. I do not have my wildcard anymore. I used it on Matchday 3, the final group game. I actually did pretty well that week, but obviously now it's looking like a bit of a mistake not having it now. But until we get this week out of the way, we're not going to know for sure how big of a mistake it was. And maybe it wasn't, right? Maybe I'll come through this week and do okay. So the problems are, I've got 6 players that have been eliminated. So Dumfries, Wijnaldum, Depay and Stecklenburg, my 4 Netherlands players, and then Kimpembe and Benzema as well, both got knocked out. I still don't see that as a bad move, what I did. And to be honest, I'm going to listen to my own kind of advice and opinion, the video I did the other day on making good decisions. And I'm going to continue to back teams that I think have got the best chance of going through to the semi-final and then possibly even further than that as well. And that's how I'm going to line up my transfers. So I've got 6 players eliminated, but I also have other problems. So De Bruyne, we don't know if he's fit or not yet, whether he's going to be able to start the game. And Berardi, it sounds like he may be the only change to the Italian team where they're going to play Chiesa instead. So Berardi started off really well, and I don't think he's played badly, but Chiesa's also come off the bench and played really well. Now, with 6 players eliminated, I can't be using transfers, I don't think, on De Bruyne or Berardi, because even if De Bruyne misses this game, if they beat Italy, and I'm not saying they will, I actually think that game would be super tight. If anything, I would say my favourite team for that tie would be Italy. But if Belgium were to get through, then maybe De Bruyne would be fit for the semi-finals. There's not really a need to get rid of him, I don't think, especially when I've got so many other players to worry about, right? So De Bruyne is kind of way down on the priority list. And the same with Berardi. What we've seen is he's come off quite a few times and Chiesa's come on. And I would fully expect that same thing to happen, but in reverse. So if Chiesa starts, I would expect Berardi to get on around 70-ish minutes, especially if it's going to go to extra time. That could be a fairly tight game. We'll have to see how it plays out, right? In the last game, Belgium scored against Portugal, and then they kind of just tried to defend most of the game. Like, if you look at the amount of shots that Portugal had versus Belgium, it was ridiculous, right? I don't have it to hand, but I think it was something like 15-2, right? So Belgium, who knows? Maybe they'll nick a goal and then they'll do the same thing. We'll have to wait and see. And obviously, I'm not transferring out anyone that's got a game that's definitely going to start. So Simon, even though he made a big mistake in the last game, he also made some really good saves. I don't think he's going to lose his place. Stones, Mailer, Spinazzola, Damsgaard, Insigne, and Immobile will all stay. I all expect them to start their next game. If Simon doesn't start, then I've got no goalkeeper. I'm not going to make a goalkeeper change, I don't think. I think Simon against Switzerland is perfectly fine. Spain's defence, I know they conceded 3 goals in the last game, but their defence is usually pretty good, right? So I'm probably just going to go with Simon. So in terms of transfers, I only actually need to make 3 to get a playing 11. I actually need to make 2 to get a playing 11, but I need to fund it, right? So my transfers are probably going to be, like, I'm trying to think of where am I going to get the most points from. I've got Spinazzola, Mailer and Stones. Realistically, there's a chance, I'm not saying a definite chance, but a chance that, or not a guarantee I should say, that they get a clean sheet, right? All 3 of them could get a clean sheet. So I'm thinking Depay and Benzema have to be my transfers out. They have to be the main 2. And it feels quite easy in where I'm going to go. I'm going to go Harry Kane. Right, even if he hadn't scored in the last game, I would still go Harry Kane. Ukraine, there's a good chance that England go through. They'd also then be favourites for the semi-final. I do think if it's Denmark, that would be a really difficult game, but they would be the favourites, and they might get all the way to the final. So going for an England player seems like a good choice. I'm not going to go for another England forward because there aren't really any others listed in the game that are going to play. So the other one for me is going to be Morata, right? I've already got Italy's forward. Lukaku is an option. But I just think, again, Spain have got more chance of going through than Belgium do. Again, Belgium could win that game, but I don't know. And if they don't, then I've already got 4 Italians, and I don't want to have to make another transfer in the next round. But we do get 5 moves. So managing quarterfinals into semi-finals should be okay. So I think I'm going to go for Kane and Morata. And to fund that, I need to save, I think it's 0.3 million. I'll do some tinkering in a minute, but I want to stay on this page for now. So 0.3 million, right? So I would probably do Wijnaldum down to another Spanish attacker. So that would give me 3 Spanish players altogether. Now, there's other ways I could do it as well. I could do Dumfries down to a 5.4 million. It would probably be Garcia or Torres, Pau Torres, whoever starts for Spain. And we will find that lineup out before the deadline. But I think I'd rather go for a midfielder. So it'll probably be Wijnaldum down to, not Ferran Torres, Sarabia if he starts. And what I'll probably do, right, if Sarabia doesn't start but Torres does, then I'll probably downgrade Dumfries as well and take the hit. So I'm definitely going to make all 3 of my transfers, right? I can't afford not to. I may do 4 and go for a -4. I don't know if a -8 is worth it after that, because I'm thinking about captaincy. On the first day, it'll probably be Morata, maybe a Spanish midfielder, Sarabia or Torres, if I bring them in, because I think with only 2 captains, you have to be prepared to take a lower score unless you want to go really aggressive. So if a midfielder gets you a goal, then straight away that's 7 points. If they get a clean sheet, that's 8. I would 100% stick on that, right? So I might go for the Spanish midfielder, whoever I bring in. And then on the day 2, it's probably going to be Kane, captain, to be honest with you. It's either that or a Denmark player against Czech Republic, but I'd probably go for Harry Kane on penalties. Just scored as well. Will that give him a bit of confidence? I don't think Harry Kane lacks confidence, to be honest. I don't think that goal makes a jot of difference, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it will. So Kane would probably be my captain. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Depay and Benzema are out for Kane and Morata, and then I'll fund that with Wijnaldum to Sarabia, or it'll be Wijnaldum to Torres and Dumfries to Maguire. I'll probably go Harry Maguire. I then have 3 England players, which I'm perfectly fine for, because I do think they're the favourite to get through to the next round. And then, to be honest with you, I'll probably add another 2 England players in the semi-finals, because again, they'll be favourites whether it's Denmark or Czech Republic, and if they get all the way through to the final, then obviously you're picking 11 players from just 2 teams anyway. So that's probably my plan. If that's all you wanted to hear, there you go. You can switch off now, but if you want to see some tinkering, stay tuned. Anyway, I thought I would start on this screen for the tinkering. I just think it's funny how UEFA, for their official game, worded like, your team needs you. Damn right it needs me. Look at all those players. They're gone. Come on, France, Netherlands. You could have got through at least. Anyway, De Bruyne's injured as well, right? So we'll view the team. This is it. I think I can make it 1 size bigger. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that is the team in full. And obviously I've put my eliminated players on the bench for obvious reasons. So Depay and Benzema are the 2 that I'm looking at getting rid of. So we'll go on to transfers. We'll get rid of those 2. And we will go for forwards. Morata has scored, so he should be fairly high up. And then it's Kane on 12 points as well. So I need to shave 0.3 million off. Now, there's probably a few different ways that I can do this. But I don't really want to make a goalkeeper move. And Kimpembe and Dumfries only give me 5.3 and 5.4 million. I haven't really found a defender I want. I could go for a Danish defender, like a second one. But I'd rather just go for an England one, to be completely honest with you. Like, Maguire gets so many chances. Even against Germany, he should have freaking scored. He put it wide of the post. It was like a free header as well. But it is what it is. So Wijnaldum is just a high-priced player, so I'd have 7.9 million. So I couldn't afford Torres, Ferran Torres, but I can afford Sarabia if he starts again. My big worry with Spain is, even if you pick a player now that starts, will they start the next game in the semi-final if they get through? But the good thing is, they play the first game in the quarterfinals, so we'll know the lineup. And in the semi-finals, we'll also know the lineup for Spain, because this game is the winner of this one and this one. So it's Spain versus... If Spain get through, it'll be Spain versus Belgium or Italy. And we'll know the lineup again before the deadline. So going for Spanish players just seems like a pretty good thing to do. So I'll probably go for Sarabia, or even Olmo if he starts as well, because I'll know in the next round who's going to start. And by that point... hopefully with 5 transfers I'll be able to get back to almost like a 15-man playing squad, and even if I can't, I can at least make some luxury transfers, like taking out Spanish players for other Spanish players that are going to start. So I think that's the plan. And Morata hasn't missed a game yet, right? I think he's played every single one. 66 minutes played. Obviously, he missed the penalty, which was frustrating. But Enrique trusts him, right? He made that comment a little while ago about how it was Morata plus 10 players was his starting lineup. And I don't think he's going to suddenly take him out. And I think he's played really well. He played really well in the last game. I know he only scored... He scored 1, didn't he? Yeah, in I think it was in extra time with that left-footed volley. Really good finish, by the way. It was a left-footed volley, right? I'm losing my mind. I'm pretty sure it was. But he played really well. So 7.9 million, let's just say it's Sarabia. Then I'd have 1.2 million to spend. I'm not against taking a hit. I'm just not sure if I would. But Dumfries to Meunier is something I would consider. Because if Belgium get through, then I kind of want their most attacking defender. If Sarabia doesn't start and Torres does, I've still got to shave off 0.2 million, right? Because I only saved 0.1 by doing Wijnaldum down to Torres. And I would probably take Dumfries out. And as long as he's not gone up in price, I would put Harry Maguire in. at 5.5. That would be my 4-point hit. I'd have nothing left in the bank. Hopefully 1, 2, 3 English players for the next round. I'd like Sterling as well. Like if De Bruyne was 100% confirmed out, I would probably take him out for Sterling. Because I think, like I said, I'm back in England to go through. I want to keep playing the way I played in the last round. Like I said to you, I don't want to think to myself, well, it didn't go right, therefore it was a bad decision. I still think it was a good decision, and I'm going to do the same again and just hope that England get through. I didn't want to necessarily heavily back them in the last game because I thought England and Germany would be quite close. But now it's a bit different, right? If anything, England have got easier fixtures now before the final than they just had in the last 16. Doesn't mean it will work out like that, but on paper, that's what it looks like. So that's probably what I'll do. In terms of other strikers, like if I think about the teams that are left in, if we go back to the quarterfinals, so Switzerland and Bola, I just don't think Switzerland are getting through. Lukaku I've already talked about. Then you've got someone like Poulsen or Braithwaite at Denmark, maybe, but are they better than Morata or Kane? I just don't think they are. I'm not going to back Ukraine. I think Switzerland and Ukraine are my two biggest concerns about going out. I think Czech Republic versus Denmark. Denmark, for me, are the favourites. But you never know, right? And then Belgium and Italy, I ain't calling that one. That's super difficult. And I've already got the 4 Italian players in, so I'm definitely not adding to that either. So I think it has to be Morata and Kane. I think I've made my choice up about that. It's just the midfield and the defender. Is Spanish the way to go? I think it probably is. Because if you think about other teams, again, I'm not back in Switzerland. Belgian midfielders, the two you really want are De Bruyne and Hazard. We don't know if they're going to be fit, especially Hazard. I think he's done. And also, they're really expensive anyway, right? Maybe if Carrasco or someone like that was going to come in, you could maybe go for a punt. But am I going to punt on him versus Italy instead of a Spanish midfielder that I know is starting? Probably not. And then Denmark, I've already got Damsgaard. There's no other Danish midfielder that I'd want. And Czech Republic... So Czech, it's just not for me. So England and Spain is what I'm going to be doing. I don't think this is going to change too much. I know, like, obviously when you've got a brand new team every single week, like through the group stage we had unlimited transfers, limitless, wild card, and then obviously we had unlimited transfers in the last round. Like, of course, there's last minute decisions. You're making a whole new team, but this time it's just transfers. We're back to kind of normal fantasy. And I just don't see why it's not going to be Morata and Kane. I'm just not going to go for Lukaku instead of 2 players that I think will go through. And then to fund that, Spanish and English players seems the way. And plus that means I get Harry Maguire on my team, which if you watch my FPL stuff, you'll know I'm extremely happy about. So that's probably going to be my transfers. I don't really see any other players to go for midfielders from other teams. I just don't know who I would go for. If Torres and Sarabia start, it gets a bit more difficult. At that point, I might just go for Sarabia just to save some money, either to not take the hit for Maguire, or just because in the next round I got a bit more money to spare. But for that, I'll discuss it on the deadline stream once I know the Spanish teams. So that's how I'm playing around with the money and the transfers. Let me know if I'm missing anything in the comments below. So there we go. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you are new around here as well. There you go. That should be the transfers. We'll do another team selection video ahead of the semi-finals, ahead of the final as well, of course. And make sure you check out Ultimate Fan if you haven't already. It really is a great, fun game to be playing alongside all the other fantasy games that you're probably playing as well. Very quick and simple to set up. It is completely free to play. You can add the gold pack subscription or the silver one if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You get your base pack, give it a go for the quarterfinals, see if you can get in the money. Who doesn't want a bit of free money, right? So if you're 18 or over from the UK or Ireland, make sure to check that out. I'll be back tomorrow with a deadline stream. Thank you for watching. Please do give it a like and hit that subscribe button like I said, and I'll see you again soon.